Hello everyone. So now we are going to talk about maximum torque condition for an induction motor. Okay. So please observe this expression. Torque T is equal to SC2 square R2 by R2 square plus SX2 whole square into some constant. Okay. So when we get the condition for maximum torque, so the rate of change of torque with respect to slip is zero. Okay. Actually, what is actually happening here? When load increases, what happens? Speed decreases. Speed means what? NR, rotor speed decreases. Means there is a change in slip. Okay. So with respect to load, there is a change in torque developed by the motor also. Okay. When do we get maximum torque? So here, before that, we need to know one thing. There is a two torques already we discussed. One is electromagnetic torque and the other one is load torque. So the electromagnetic torque should be equal to load torque, then only the motor able to run smoothly. Okay, if electromagnetic torque is in such a way that if load increases, what happen? The torque developed by the motor, that electromagnetic torque reduces. That is reduced compared to the required load torque. Means what happens? Speed reduces. If speed reduces, that is NR reduces. NS minus NR by NS, that is slip increases. Slip increases means again torque increases. So what you observe here, when mechanical load increases, automatically torque increases. Okay, this is a continuous process. Mechanical load increases, torque developed by the motor increases. Means torque and slip are directly proportional here. But when the load is increased beyond a certain limit, then what happens? If for further increase in load, there is no further improve in torque. So torque reduces. Okay, and so in this region, the torque is inversely proportional to speed. Okay, so observe these characteristics. So this portion, so there is a 0 to 0.1 slip value. The torque is directly proportional to slip, and from 0.1 to 1 slip value, the torque is inversely proportional to slip. Okay, and the condition for maximum torque available for us by doing dou t by dou s equal to 0. After doing this, we will get maximum torque will be available at s is equal to r2 by x2. So this s value is said to be sm. Sm is r2 by x2. If you substitute this slip value in this expression t, we will get t max, maximum torque developed. That is k times of u2 square by 2x2. So if you observe this maximum torque value, this is independent of rotor resistance. But the slip at which we will get maximum torque is dependent on rotor resistance. So see the statement. So this value, that is here, if you observe for the first curve from right to left, for the first curve, so its maximum value is available at approximately 0.1 or 0.15. Okay, so that is SM maximum torque, that is equal to R2 by X2. So if R2 increases, so this maximum point will shift towards left side. Okay, and if I am keep on increasing the R2 value, this point keep on shifting. Okay, so at this point, if you observe, when R2 equal to X2, that is slip SM equal to 1, maximum slip at maximum torque equal to R2 by X2. Okay, so if R2 equal to X2, SM equal to 1, that is when SM value is 1, slip value is 1 at starting, its starting slip value is 1. So if SM value is maintained as the R2, that is R2 by X2 values are same, then SM equal to 1 means at the starting itself we will get maximum torque. And whereas in the first curve if you observe, the starting torque is very less compared to maximum torque. If we keep on increasing the rotor resistance, we can achieve the maximum torque at the time of starting itself. Okay. For some loads, we need not require much torque. Torque means what? Turning moment. Okay. Actually, the rotor we have to rotate like this. Okay. We have to rotate the rotor like this. Okay. So based on the amount of mechanical load on the rotor stiffness depends. Okay. So take a no load rotor, we can rotate it with a little effort or no effort. So if there is a tightly loaded, then we need more effort, that is may require more torque. Okay, so if the load is very high, we require more starting torque to rotate that load. Okay, so there were conditions that we require for some loads we require minimum amount of starting torque, and for some type of loads we require maximum amount of starting torque. Okay, say if we take our locomotives, that is trains, it will start, some trains will start very slowly. If you take some metro trains, it will start with a rampant speed suddenly. Okay, so there the starting torque is more. If you take a metro trains, the starting torque is more. If you take normal trains, the starting torque is less, requirement is less. So the low torque requirement is less in case of a normal trains, and low torque requirement is more in case of a metro trains. Means it will start all of a sudden from the platform. Okay, so so in that way the starting torque requirement may vary. So we can vary the starting torque by changing the speed of, that is, I mean, the changing the rotor resistance. How to change the rotor resistance? We have two types of rotors, right? In the construction part, you would have heard about two types of rotors. One is squirrel cage rotor, another one is wound rotor. Okay, squirrel cage rotor, there is no chance of changing of rotor resistance. Keep it in mind that in squirrel cage rotor we cannot change the rotor resistance. But in case of wound rotor motor, we can change the rotor resistance by adding an external three-phase resistive network, that is like a star network, to the end parts of rotor windings. Okay, actually rotor windings are again connected in delta fashion or star fashion. Okay, usually we connect the rotor circuit in star fashion. Why? Because the midpoint is coupled to neutral, and all the three terminals are connected to the other three terminals of external rotor resistance. So that we can change the rotor circuit resistance, so that we can achieve the change in rotor speed. Okay, sorry, the change in torque developed by the motor. Okay, so if you see here, this is a slip value, this is a speed. Slip is varying from 0 to 1 and speed is varying from 0 to ns. Okay, at ns, so this 0 to ns means this is a nr speed, rotor speed. Rotor speed is reaching ns, the slip value becomes 0. Why? Because ns minus nr by ns equal to 0. I hope you understood the torque speed characteristics of a induction motor. Thank you.